In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. And you say it wearies you. But how I caught it, or found it, came by it, what stuff 'tis made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. Such a want wit sadness makes of me, that I have much ado to know myself.
Your mind is tossing on the ocean. There were your argosies with portly sail, like seigneurs and rich burghers on the flood. Or as it were the pageants of the sea, do overpeer the petty traffickers that courtesy to them, and do them reverence as they fly by them with their woven wings.
Believe me, sir, had I such ventured forth, the better part of my affections would be my hopes abroad. I should still be plucking the grass to know where sits in the wind, peering your maps for ports and piers and roads. And every object that might make misfortune to my ventures, out of doubt, would make me sad.
My wind cooling my broth would blow me to an ague when I thought what harm a wind too great at sea might do. I should not see the sandy hourglass run, but I should think of shallows and of flats, and see my wealthy Andrew docked in sand, veiling her high top lower than her ribs to kiss her burial. Should I go to church and see the holy edifice of stone, and not bethink me straight of dangerous rocks, which, touching but my gentle vessel's side, would scatter all her spices in the stream, and rope the roaring waters with my silks, and, in a word, but now worth this, and now worth nothing? Shall I have the thought to think on this, and shall I lack the thought that such a thing perchance would make me sad? But tell not me. I know Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise.
Believe me, no. I thank my fortunes for it. My fortunes are not in one bottom trusted, nor to one place, nor is my whole estate upon the fortune of this present year. Therefore my merchandise makes me not sad.
Why? Then you're in love.
Bye. Bye.
Not in love neither. And let us say you were sad, because you were not merry, and 'twas easy for you to laugh and leap and say you were merry, because you were not sad. Now, by two-headed Janus, nature hath framed strange fellows in her time. Some that will evermore picture their eyes in the way they smile and laugh like parrots a bagpiper, and others with such vinegar aspect that they'll not show their teeth in the way they smile. But Mr. Schmurder, just be laughable.
Here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, Graziano and Lorenzo. Fare you well, truly you know better proof.
I would have stayed till I made you merry. If we're your friends and not prevented
good signors both! Why should we laugh again?
Say when you grow exceeding strange, must it be so?
We'll make our legends to attend yours.
My Lord Bassanio, since you have found Antonio, we too will leave you. But I pray at dinner time you could keep in mind where we must meet.
I will not fail you.
You look not well, Signor Antonio. You have too much respect upon the world. They lose it that do buy with much care, believe me. Marvelously changed.
I hold the world, but as the world, Graziano, a stage where every man must play his part, and mine is sad one.
Let me play the fool. With mirth and laughter, then old wrinkles come, and let my liver rather keep with wine than my heart bones. Jeez, Lorenzo.
Sorry.
Why should a man whose blood warmed within sit like his transparent on the loud bastard? Sleep when he wakes and creep into the jaundice by being peevish. I'll tell thee what, Antonio. I love thee, and it is my love that speaks. Are sort of men whose visages do cream and mantle like a standing pond, and do willful stillness entertain with purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom, gravity, profound conceit, as who should say, I am Sir Oracle, and when I ope my lips, let no dog bark. Oh, my Antonio. I know if these are therefore only reputed wise, for saying nothing, when I am very sure if they should speak would almost damn those ears, which hearing them would call their brothers fools. I'll tell thee more of this another time, but fish not with this melancholy bait, for this full gudgeon, this opinion. Come, good Lorenzo, fare you well a while. I'll end my exhortation after dinner.
Well, We will see you then at dinner time. I must be one of those same dumb wise men, for Gratiano never lets me speak.
But keep me company but years more. Thou shalt not know the sign of thine own tongue.
Very well.
Our rights of faith, for silence is uncommendable and leaves so dry that it may not bendable.
Is that anything now?
Gratiano speaks an infinite deal of nothing more than any man in all of Venice. His reasons are as two grains of wheat hid into bushels of chaff. You shall seek all day ere you find them, and when you have them, they are not worth the search.
Well, tell me now, what lady is the same to whom you swore at secret pilgrimage that you today promised to tell me of?
'Tis not unknown to you, Antonio, how much I have disabled mine estate through something showing a more swelling port than my faint means would grant continuance. Nor do I now make moan to be abridged from such a noble rate, but my chief care is to come fairly off from the great debts wherein my time something too prodigal hath left me gagged. To you, Antonio, I owe the most in money and in love. And from your love I have a warranty to unburthen all my plots and purposes, how to get clear of all the debts I owe.
I pray you let me know it, and if it stand as you yourself still do, within the eye of honour, be assured that my purse, my person, my extremest means lie all unlocked to your occasions.
In my school days, when I had lost one shaft, I oft shot his fellow of the self-same flight, the self-same way, with the more advised watch, and by adventuring both, I oft found both. I urge this childhood proof because what follows is pure innocence. I owe you much, and like a wilful youth, that which I owe is lost. But if you please to shoot another arrow that self-way which you did shoot the first, I do not doubt, as I will watch the aim, or to find both, or to bring your latter hazard back again, and thankfully rest debtor for the first.
You know me, and herein spend what time to wind about my love with circumstance, and out of doubt you do me now more wrong in making question of my uttermost than if you had made waste of all I have. Then do but say what I should do, that within your knowledge may by me be done, and I am pressed unto it. Therefore, speak.
In Belmont is a lady richly left, and she is fair, fairer than that word, of wondrous virtue. Sometimes from her eyes I did receive fair speechless messages. Her name is Portia, nothing undervalued to Cato's daughter, Brutus's Portia, nor is the wide world ignorant of her worth, for the four winds blow in from every coast renowned suitors, and her sunny locks hang on her temples like a golden fleece, which makes her seat in Belmont Colchis' strand, and many Jasons come in quest of her. Oh my Antonio, had I but the means to hold a rival place with one of them, I have a mind presages me such thrift that I should questionless be fortunate.
Thou knowest all my ventures are at sea. Neither have I money nor commodity to raise a present sum. Therefore, go forth, try what my credit can in Venice do. It shall be racked, even to the uttermost, to furnish thee to Belmont, to fair Portia. Go, presently inquire, so will I. Where money is, and I no question make to have it of my person, or for my sake.
body is aweary of this great world.
You would be, sweet madam, if your misuse were in the same abundance as your good fortunes are, and yet, for all I see, they are sick that surfeit with too much as they that starve with nothing.
Good sentences and well pronounced.
They would be better if all followed.
If to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, chapels had been churches and poor men's cottages, princes' palaces. It is a good divine to follow his own instructions. I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done than be one of the 20 to follow mine own teaching. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me a husband. Oh me, the word choose. I may neither choose whom I would, nor refuse whom I dislike. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. It is not harder, is it, that I cannot choose one nor refuse none.
Your father was ever virtuous, and holy men at their death often have good inspirations. Therefore, the lottery that he hath devised in these 3 chests of gold, silver, and lead, of whereof who chooses his meaning, chooses you, will no doubtly never be chosen by any rightly, but one whom you shall rightly love. But what warm discern your affection towards any of these princely suitors who have already come?
I pray thee, overname them, and as thou namest them, I will describe them, and according to my description, level at mine affection.
First, there's the Neapolitan prince.
Aye, that's a cult indeed, for he doth nothing but talk of his horse. And he makes it a great appropriation to his own good part that he can shoe him himself. I am much afeard my lady, his mother, paid cost to the smith.
Well, then there's the County Palatine.
He doth nothing but frown. As you should say, you will not have me that choose. He hears Maynard's tales, but he smiles not. I fear he'll prove the weeping philosopher when he grows old, being so full of unmannerly sadness in his youth. I should rather be married to a death's head with a bone in his mouth than to either of these two. God defend me from these two.
How say you then to the French lord, who is your Le Bon?
God made him, and therefore let him pass as a man. In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker, but he hath a better horse than the Neapolitan. A better habit of frowning than the Count Palatine. He is every man and no man. If a throstle sing, he will fall straight to capering. He will fence with his own shadow. If I should marry him, I should marry 20 husbands, for if he should despise me, I should forgive him, for if he loves me to madness, I shall never requite him.
How say you then to the English lord, Falconbridge?
You know I say nothing to him, for he understands not me, nor I him, and you will come into court and swear that I have a poor pennyworth in English. He is a proper man creature. But alas, who can converse with a dumb show? How oddly he is suited. I think he bought his doublet in Germany, his round hose in Italy, his bonnet in France, and his behaviour everywhere. Oh.
How say you, the Scottish lord, his neighbour?
That he has a neighbourly charity, and for he borrowed the box of the ear of Englishman and swore he would pay him back again. I think the Frenchman became a surety and sealed under for another.
How say you, the young German, the Duke of Saxony's nephew?
Oh, very vilely in the morning when he is sober, and most vilely in the afternoon when he is drunk. When he is best, he is worse than a man. And when he is worst, he is better than a beast. And the worst fall that ever fell. I hope I should make shift to go without him.
If he should offer to choose and choose the right casket, you should refuse to perform your father's will. You should refuse to accept him.
Therefore, through the worst, I pray thee, set a deep glass of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket, and if the devil be within, and the temptation without, I know he will choose it. I will do anything, Nerissa. Here I will be married to a sponge.
You need not fear, lady, the having of any of these lords. They have acquainted me with their determinations, which is indeed to return to their home and trouble you with no more suit, unless you may be won by some other sort than your father's imposition, depending on the casket.
If I live to be as old as Syllaba, unless I die as chaste as Diana, and be obtained by the manner of my father's will, I am glad these parcel of fools are so unreasonable, for there's not one among them I dote on his very absence, and I pray God grant them a fair departure.
Oh.
How now? What news?
The 4 strangers seek for you, madam, to take their leave. And there's a forerunner come from a 5th, the Prince of Morocco, who brings word as master of English might.
If I could bid the fifth welcome with such good heart as I could bid the fourth farewell, I should be glad of his approach. For if he had the condition of a saint and the complexion of a devil, I'd rather he shrive me than boy. Come, nurse, drag up the fourth. As we shut the gate upon one wooer, another knocks at the door.
3 months, for the which, as I told you, Antonio shall be bound.
Antonio shall become bound.
May you stead me? Will you pleasure me? Shall I know your answer?
3,000 ducats for 3 months.
Yet your answer
Antonio
cannot.
bound. Antonio is a good man.
Have you heard any imputation to the contrary?
Oh, no. My meaning in saying he's a good man is to have you understand me that he is sufficient. Yet his means are in supposition. He hath an argosy bound to Tripoli, another to the Indies. I understand moreover upon the Rialto he hath a third to England, a fourth for Mexico, and many other ventures he hath squandered abroad. Our ships are but boards, sailors but men. There be land rats and water rats, land thieves and water thieves, I mean pirates. The man is notwithstanding sufficient. 3,000 ducats. I think I may take this bond.
I'll be assured you may.
I will be assured I may, and that I may be assured I will bethink me. May I speak with Antonio?
If it please you to dine with us.
Yes. To smell pork, to eat of the habitation which your prophet the Nazarite conjured the devil into. I will walk with you, talk with you, buy with you, sell with you, and so following. But I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. What news on the Rialto? Who is he comes here?
Well, this is Signor Antonio.
How like a fawning publican he looks. I hate him for he is a Christian. But more for that in low simplicity he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance with us here in Venice. If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him. He hates our sacred nation, and he rails on me. My money's my well-run thrift, which he calls interest. Cursed be my tribe if I forgive him.
Shylock, do you hear?
I am just evading of my present store, and by the near guess of my memory, I cannot instantly raise up the gross sum of 3,000 ducats. But what of that Tubal, a wealthy Hebrew of my tribe, shall furnish me, but so rest you fair, good signor, your worship was the last man in our mouths.
Shylock, albeit I neither lend nor borrow by taking nor by giving of excess, yet to supply the right wants of a friend, I am willing to break a custom. Is he yet possessed how much you would?
3,000.
And for 3 months.
Ah yes, for 3 months, you told me so. Let me see the rate of which. What's up? You mean, we thought you said you neither borrow nor lend upon advantage.
I do never use it.
When Jacob grazed his uncle Laban's sheep, this Jacob was, from our holy Abram, as his wise mother wrought on his behalf, the third possessor. He was.
And what of him? Did he take interest?
No, not directly interest, not as you would say. Mark what Jacob did. When Laban and himself were so compromised that all of the inlings that were party coloured, streaked and pied, should fall as Jacob's hired. Then, in the inling time, the end of autumn, or when the ewes turned of the rams, the work of woolly generation was between these woolly
This was a venture, sir, that Jacob served for. A thing not in his power to bring to pass, but swayed and fashioned by the hands of heaven. Was this inserted to make interest good? Or is your gold and silver ewes and rams?
I cannot tell, I make them read as
Oh, mark you this, Bassanio. The devil can cite scripture for his purpose. An evil soul procuring holy witness is like a villain with a smiling cheek. A goodly apple rotten at the heart. Oh, what a goodly outside falsehood.
3,000 ducats. It's a good roundly sum. Let me see the rate.
Well, Shylock, shall we be beholding to you?
Signor Antonio, many a time and often the reality you have rated me that my money is my usances. Still have I borne it with a patient shrug, for sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You call me misbeliever, cutthroat, dog, and all for use of that which is mine own. Well, now it does appear you need my help. You come to me and you say, Shylock, we would have monies. You that did voyage your room upon my beard and foot me as you would a stranger cur over your threshold. Monies is your suit. And what should I say to you? Should I not say, have a dog money? Is it possible a cur could lend 3,000 ducats? Or shall I bend low? With bated breath, bondness key, and whispering humbleness say this. Fair sir, you spat on me Wednesday last. You spurned me such a day. Another day you called me a dog. And for these courtesies, I shall lend thee these much money.
I am as like to call thee so again, to spit on thee, to spurn thee too. If thou wilt lend this money, lend it not to thy friend, for when did friendship take on a breed for power men of his friend? Lend it rather to thine enemy, who if he breakest thou mayst with better face exact the penalty.
Oh, you look you, how you storm! I would be friends with you, have your love, forget the shames you have stained me with, supply your present wants, and take no jot of usance for my monies. But you'll not have me. This is kind I offer.
This word kindness.
Oh, this kindness will I show. Go with me to a notary's. Seal me there to a single bond. And in a merry sport, if you repay me not on such a day, in such place, such sum or sums as are expressed in the condition, let the forfeit be nominated as an equal pound of your fair flesh, to be cut out and taken from what part of your body pleaseth me.
Content, in faith, I'll seal to such a bond.
You
Say
shall
there
not.
is kindness in the Jew.
You shall not seal to such a bond. For me, I'd rather dwell in my necessity.
Fear not, man, and within these 2 months, that's a month before the bond expires, I do expect return of thrice 3 times the value of this bond.
Oh, Father Abraham, what these Christians are, whose own hard dealings teach them suspect the good thoughts of others. Tell me, sir, if he should break his bond, break his day, what shall I gain by the exaction of the forfeiture? A pound of man's flesh taken from a man is not so estimable, profitable neither as beef, muttons, or lambs. I say, I extend this friendship to buy his favour. If he will take it so. If not, adieu. And I pray you for my love, wrong me not.
Yes, Shylock, I'll seal unto this bond.
Meet me forthwith notary, so I shall go and purse the ducat straight, see to my house left in the fearful garden an unthrifty knave, and presently I will be with you.
Hie thee, gentle Jew. The Hebrew will turn Christian, he grows kind.
I like not fair terms and a villain's mind.
Why, fear not, man, in this there can be no dismay. My ship's home a month before the
versions of our climb have loved it too. I would not change this you, except to steal your thoughts, my gentle.
In terms of choice, I am not solely led by nice direction of the maiden's eyes, Besides, the lottery of my destiny bars me the right to voluntary choosing. But if my father had not scanted me and hedged me by his wit to yield myself, his wife who wins me by the means, I told you, yourself, renowned prince then stood as fair as any comer I've looked on yet for my affection.
And even for that I thank you. Therefore I pray you lead me to the caskets to try my fortune. By my scimitar that slew the Sophian and a Persian prince, I would outstare the sternest eyes that look, outbrave the heart most daring on this earth, pluck the young sucking cubs from the she-bear, yeah, mock the lion when he roars for prey to indie lady. But alas the while, if Hercules and Lichess play at dice, which is the better man? The greater throw may turn by fortune from the weaker hand. So is Alcides beaten by his page, and so may I, blind fortune leading me, miss that which one unworthy may attain, and die with grief.
You must take your chance, and either not attempt to choose at all, or swear before you choose. If you choose wrong, never to speak the lady afterward in way of marriage, therefore be advised.
No, I'll not. Come, bring me on to my chance.
First, forward to the temple. After dinner, your hazard shall be made.
Good fortune, then, to make me blessed or cursed. Amen.
Certainly my conscience will serve me to run from this Jew, my master. The fiend is at my elbow and tempts me, saying to me, go. Lancelot, good Lancelot, go. Use your heels. Take the start. Run away. My conscience says to me, no, take heed, honest Lancelot. Take heed, honest God, or as aforesaid, honest Lancelot, go. Do not run. Scorn running with thy heels. Well, the most courageous fiend bids me pack. Via, says the fiend. Away, says the fiend. For the heavens rouse up a brave mind, says the fiend, and run. Well, my conscience, hanging with her neck of my heart, says, very wisely to me, honest Lancelot, being an honest man's daughter. Or rather, an honest woman's daughter, for my father did smack something grody, he had a kind of taste. My conscience says to me, Lancelot, budge not. Budge, says the fiend. Budge not, says my conscience. Budge, says the fiend. To be ruled by my conscience, I should stay with the Jew, my master, who, God bless the mark, is a kind of devil. And to run away from the Jew, I should be ruled by the fiend, who, saving your reverence, is the devil himself. Certainly the Jew is the very devil incarnation. And my conscience is but a kind of hard conscience to counsel me to stay with the Jew. The fiend gives the more friendly counsel. I will run, fiend, my heels are at your command, I will run.
Master! Young man! You! I pray you, which is the way to Master Jews?
Oh, heavens, this is my true begotten father, who being more than sand and pie for apple wine. Knows me not. I'll try confusions with him.
Master, young gentleman, I pray you, which is the way to Master Jews?
I'll turn right at the very next turn, but at the very next turning of all turn left. Or at the very next turn of no hand, turn out indirectly.
Madonna Santa, 'twill be a hard way to hit. Can you tell me whether one Lancelot dwells with him? Dwells with him or not?
Talk you of young Master Lancelot. Mark me now will I raise the waters. Talk you of young Master Lancelot.
Oh no, master, sir, but a poor man's son. His father, though I say, it's an honest, exceeding poor man, and God be thanked, Well,
Well,
to
let
leave.
father be what it will, we talk of young Master Lancelot.
Your worship, friend and Lancelot, sir.
Oh, but I pray you, old man, or go I beseech you, talk you of young Master Lancelot.
Of Lancelot. Aim, please, young master. Sir.
Alas, Master Lancelot, talk not of Master Lancelot, father, for the poor gentleman is indeed deceased, or as you might say, gone to heaven.
Son, the boy was the very staff of my age, my very prop.
Do I look like a staff or a hovel, a cudgel or a prop? Do you know me, father?
Alack, sir, I know you not. But I pray you to tell me, is my son, God rest his soul, alive or dead?
Do you not know me, father?
Alack, sir, I am sent blind. I know you not.
Nay, indeed, if you had your eyes, you might fail of knowing me as a wise father that knows his own child. Look, old man, I will give you news of your son. Give me your blessing. Murder, truth will come to light, murder cannot be hid long, a man's son, and nay, but in the end, truth will out.
No, I pray you, sir, please stand up. I'm sure that you are not Lancelot, my boy.
Pray you, but let's have no more fooling about it. I am Lancelot, your boy that was, your daughter that is, your child that shall be.
I cannot believe that you are my son.
I don't know what I should think of that, but I am Lancelot the Jew's woman, and I am sure Marjorie, your wife, is my mother.
Her name is Margaret indeed. I'll be sworn, if thou art of my own flesh and blood. Oh, Lord worship might be, but what a beard hast thou got! Thou hast more hair on thy chin than Dobby my fellow horses on his stain!
And then it should seem then that Dobbin's tail grow backward. I am sure he had more hair of his tail than I have my face when I last saw him.
Oh, how art thou changed. I brought him a present to your master. Agree now.
Well, but as I have said at my rest to run away, I shall not run till I have run some ground. My master's a very Jew. Give him a present. Give him a halter. I am famished in his service. You may tell every finger I have with my ribs. Father, I'm glad you are come. Give me your present to one Master Bassanio, who indeed gives rare deliveries. If I serve not him, I will run as far as God has any ground. Here comes the man!
Let it be so hasted that supper be ready after the fire this by 5 o'clock. See these letters delivered. Put deliveries making and desire Gratiano to come along to my lodging.
God bless your worship.
For mercy, wouldst thou walk with me?
He is my son, a poor.
Not a poor boy, sir, but the rich king's servant who would, as my father.
He has a great infection to serve.
The long and the short is I serve that you and have a desire as my father shall specify.
His master indeed are scarce Chatzakis.
In very brief, the very truth is that the Jew, having done me wrong, doth cause me and my father to be.
I am a dish of dogs here.
In very brief, the suit is impertinent to myself, as your worship
Go
is not
on,
like.
speak for both. What would you?
Sir.
That's the very defect of the man.
I know thee well. Thou hast obtained thy suit. Shylock, thy master, spoke with me this day and hath preferred thee, if it be preferment to leave a rich Jew's service to become follower of so poor a gentleman.
The old proverb is very well parted between my master Shylock and you, sir. You have the grace of God, sir, and he hath enough.
Thou speakst it well. Go, father, with thy daughter, take leave of thy old master, and inquire my lodging out. Give him a livery more guarded than his fellows. See it done. Woodley Arnold, think on this. These things being bought and orderly bestowed, return in haste, for I do feast tonight my best esteemed acquaintance. Heidi, go.
My best will be done.
Where's your master?
Yonder, sir, he walks.
Your Bassanio, I have a suit to you. You must not deny me. I must go with you to Belmont.
Why then you must. But hear thee, Gratiano. Thou art too wild, too rude, and bold of voice. Parts which become thee happily enough, and in such eyes as ours, appear not as false, but where thou art not known, why, there they show something too liberal. I pray thee, take pain to allay with some cold drops of modesty thy skipping spirit, lest through thy wild behaviour I be misconstrued in the place I go to, and lose my hope.
Senor Bassanio, hear me. If I do not put on a sober habit, talk with respect, swear, but now and then, never trust me more.
Well, we shall see you.
Aye, nay, but bar tonight. You shall not gauge me about what we do tonight.
No, that were pity. I would entreat you rather to put on your boldest suit of thrift, for we have friends that purpose merriment. But I have some business.
Very well. Master Lorenzo and the rest, but we will visit you at supper time.
I am sorry that will leave my father so. Our house is hell. And thou, a merry devil, robbed of some taste of tediousness. But fare thee well. There is a ducat for thee. And that's well. Soon at supper shalt thou see Lorenzo, who is thine your master's guest. Give him this letter. Do it secretly. And so farewell. I would not have my father see me and talk with thee.
You! You! Tears exhibit my tongue. Oh, most beautiful pagan, most sweet you. If a Christian shall play the name get thee, I am much deceived. But you! Oh, these tears do something drown my manly spirit. You! Adieu! Farewell, good Lancelot.
Alack, what heinous sin is it in me to be ashamed to be my father's child? But though I am daughter to his blood, I am not to his manners. Oh, Lorenzo, if thou keep promise, I shall end this strife. Become a Christian. And thy loving wife.
Hello. Nay, we will slink away at supper time, disguise us at my lodging, and return all in an hour.
Nay, good
You're not
preparations.
supposed to get a torchbearer.
Tis vile lesson may be quite the order better my mother of the talk.
It is now but 4 o'clock. We have 2 hours to furnish us. Friend Lancelot, what's the news?
And it shall seem to break at this, it shall seem to signify.
Oh, no, the hand. In faith, it is a fair hand, and whiter than the paper it writ on is the fair hand that writ.
Of news in faith.
But by your leave, sir.
Oh, whither goest thou?
Marry, sir, to bid my old master the dues, tonight with my new husband Christian.
Hold here, take this. Tell Jen and Jessica I will not fail her. Speak kindly. So, gentlemen, will you prepare you for this mass tonight?
Aye.
And provide us a torchbearer?
Hey!
Sorry, I'll be on that street.
And so will I.
Was not that letter from fair Jessica?
I must needs tell thee all. She hath directed how I shall take her from her father's house, what gold and jewels she is furnished with, what pages suit she hath in readiness. If ere the Jew her father come to heaven, it will be for his gentle daughter's sake, and never dare misfortune cross her foot unless she do it under this excuse, that she is issued to a faithless Jew. Come, go with me. Peruse this as thou goest. Fair Jessica shall be my torchbearer.
Ah!
Well, thou shalt see, my eyes shall be the judge, the difference of old Shylock and Bassanio.
Jessica!
Thou shalt not gormandize as thou hast done with me,
Jessica!
or sleep and snore and rend out apparel.
What, Jessica, I say!
Jessica!
Who bids thee call? Did not bid thee call.
Your worship was wont to tell me I could do nothing without bidding. Call you.
Jessica, where I am bid forth to supper, here are my keys. But wherefore should I go? They do not bid me for love. They flatter me. But yet I'll go in haste to feed upon the prodigal Christian. Jessica, my girl, look to my house. I am right loath to go.
I beseech you, sir, go! My young master doth expect your reproach.
And so do I his.
And they have conspired together. I will not say you shall see a mask.
What other masks? Jessica, where I lock up my doors. And when you hear the drum and the vile squealing of the wry-necked fife, clamber not up to the casements, nor thrust your head out into the public street to gaze upon Christian fools with varnished faces. But instead stop with my house's ears. I mean, my casements. Let not the sound of shallow foppery enter my sober house. By Jacob's staff, I have no mind of feasting forth tonight. But yet I will go. Go you before me, sir. I say I will come.
I will go before, sir. And mistress, look out the window for this. There will come a Christian by and will be worth the Hughes' eye.
Now what says that fool of Hagar's offspring, huh?
Her words were feral, mistress. Nothing else.
The patch is kind enough. But a huge feeder. Snail so on profit, and she sleeps more by day than the wildcat. Drones hide not with me. Therefore I part with her, and I part with her to one who I would have her help to waste his borrowed purse. Go in, Jessica. Now perhaps I will return immediately. Do as I bid thee, shut doors after you. Fast find, fast find. A proverb never stale in thrifty mind.
Farewell, father. And if my fortune be not crossed, I have a father, you, a daughter lost.
This is the penthouse under which lords of the dire last may extend.
Our hour is almost past.
And it is marvel he outdwells this hour.
Oh, 10 times faster Venus pigeons fly to seal love's bond.
That
Made
ever
layer.
rising from her feast with that king appetite, and he sits down. Where's that horse that doth again his tedious measures with that unbaited fire that he did place him first? All the things that are with more spirit challenged than his
Sweet friends,
Lorenzo.
your patience for my long abode. Not I, but my affairs have made you wait.
Mm-hmm.
When you should please to play the thief for wise, I'll watch as long for you then.
Fair.
Approach. Here dwells my father Jew. Oh, who's within?
Who are you? Tell me for more certainty, albeit that I swear that I do know thy tongue.
Lorenzo, and thy love.
Lorenzo certain, and my love indeed, for who I love so much. And now, who knows but you, Lorenzo, whether I am yours?
Heaven and thy thoughts are witness that thou art.
Here, catch this casket. It is worth the pains. I am glad 'tis night, you do not look at me, for I am much ashamed of my exchange. But love is blind, and lovers cannot see the pretty follies that themselves commit. For if they could, Cupid himself would blush to see me thus transformed into a boy.
Descend, for you must be my torchbearer.
What? Must I hold a candle to my shames? They in themselves, good sooth, are too light. Why, 'tis an office of discovery, love, and I should be obscured.
So are you, sweet, even in the lovely garnish of a boy. But come at once for me. We
I
are
will
still
make
for
fast.
the same feast.
I will make fast throws and go myself with some more ducats and be with you shortly.
Now by my book, gentle and no Jew.
Beshrew me, but I love her heartily, for she is fair if mine eye to be true, and true she is, as she hath proved herself, and wise if I can judge of her. Therefore, she shall be placed in my constant soul.
Fair.
Oh, already? On then, the way.
Graziano, where are all the rest? It is 9 o'clock, our friends all stay for you. No mass tonight. The wind has come about. Samuel, I would like to be on the scene. I sent 20 out to sea for you.
Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. Second, silver, which this promise carries. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. And this third, dull lead, with warning all is blunt. Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. And how should I know if I do choose the right?
The one of them contains my picture, Prince. If you choose that, then I'm yours.
Well, some God direct my judgment. Let me see. I will survey the inscriptions back again. What says this leaden casket? Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. Must give? For what? For lead. Hazard for lead. This casket threatens. Men who hazard all do it in the hope of fair advantages. I'll then nor give, nor hazard aught for lead. Now what says the silver with the virgin hue? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. As much as he deserves. Pause there, Morocco, and weigh thy value with an even hand. If thou beest rated by thy estimation, thou dost deserve enough, and yet enough may not extend so far as to the lady. And yet to be afeard of my undeserving were but a weak disabling of myself, as much as I deserve. Why, that's the lady. I do embrace deserve her. And in fortunes, in graces, and in qualities of breeding, but more than these in love, I do deserve. So what if I stayed no further, but chose he? Let's see once more this thing engraved in gold. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. Why, that's the lady! All the world desires her. From the four corners of the earth they've come to kiss this shrine, this mortal breathing saint. The Hyrcanian deserts and the vastly wilds of wide Arabia are as thoroughfares for princes to come view fair Portia. The watery kingdom, whose ambitious head spits in the face of heaven, is no bar to stop the foreign spirits, but they come as o'er a brook to view fair Portia. So one of these contains our heavenly picture. Is it like that lead contains her? Twere damnation to think so base a thought. It were too gross to whip her cerecloth in the obscure grave. Or shall I think in silver she's immured, being 10 times undervalued to tried gold? Sinful thought. Never so rich a gem was second worse than gold. They have in England a coin that bears the figure of an angel stamped in gold, but that's insculpted upon. But here, an angel in a golden basket lies all within. Deliver me the key. Here do I choose. Drive by us and me. What have we here? Carrying death, within whose empty eye there is a written scroll. I'll read the writing. All that glistens is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Many a man his life hath sold, but my outside to behold. Guilded tombs do worms enfold, have you been as wise as bold? Young in limbs and judgment old, your answer had not been inscrolled. Fare you well, your suit is cold. Cold indeed, and labour lost. And farewell heat, and welcome frost. Portia, adieu. I have too grieved a heart to take a tedious leave. Thus losers part.
A gentleman in scope, let all of his confection be to me. So.
You are Christ the raised Duke who went with him to search Bassanio's
He
ship.
came too late, the ship was under sail. But there the Duchess was given to understand that in a gondola were seen together Lorenzo and his amorous Jessica. Besides, Antonio certified the Duchess that they were not with Bassanio in his ship.
Never heard a passion so confused, so outrageous, so variable, as the dog Jew did utter in the streets. My daughter,
Oh my ducats, oh my daughter, fled with a Christian, oh my Christian ducats! Justice, the law! My ducats, have my daughter! 2 bags of double ducats stolen from me by my daughter, 2 stones, 2 rich and precious stones stolen from me by my daughter! Justice! Find the girl, she had the stones upon her!
All the boys in Venice follow him, crying, "His stones, his daughter, and his ducats!"
Let good Antonio keep his day, or he shall pay for this.
Oh, Mary, well remembered. I reasoned with a Frenchman yesterday who told me that in the narrow seas that part the French and English, there must carry the vessel of our country virtually fraught. I thought upon Antonio when he told me in mission silence that it were not his.
You're best to tell him. You're best to tell him. Yeah, do it suddenly before it may grieve him.
A kind of gentleman treads not the earth. I saw Bassanio and Antonio part.
Oh.
Bassanio told him he would make some speed of his return.
Okay.
He answered, "Do not so. Slubber not business for my sake, Bassanio, but stay the very right thing of the time. And for the Jew's bond which he hath of me, let it not enter in your mind of love. Be merry, and employ your chiefest thoughts to courtship, and such fair ostets of love as shall conveniently become you there." And even there, his eye being big with tears, turning his face, he put his hand behind him, and with affection wondrous sensible, he wrung Bassanio's hand, and so departed.
I think he only loves the world.
Yeah.
I pray thee. Let us go find him out and quicken his embraced heaviness with some delight.
Do we so?
Quick, quick, I pray thee, the Prince of Aragon hath taken his oath and comes to his election presently.
Behold, there stands the casket's noble prince. If you choose that we're now contained, straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. But if you fail, without more speech, my lord, you must be gone from hence immediately.
I am enjoined by oath to observe 3 things. First, never to unfold to anyone which casket 'twas I chose. Next, if I fail in fortune of my choice, never in my life to have made the way of marriage. And lastly, if I do fail in fortune of my casket, immediately to leave you, to be gone.
To these injunctions, everyone doth swear that comes to hazard for my worthless self.
Fortune now, to my heart's hope, gold, silver, and base lead. Who chooseth me shall give in hazard all he hath. You shall look fair ere I give our hazard. So, what says you, golden treasure chest? Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. What many men desire? That many may be meant by the full multitude, choose by show, not learning more than the fond eye doth teach, but like the martyr who builds out on the weathered wall. Even in the force and road of casualty, I will not choose what many men desire. I will not be ranked with the common spirits and jump with the barbarous multitudes. So, then to thee, thou silver treasure house. Remind me once more what title dost thou dost bear. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. And well said too. For who shall go about to cozen fortune and be honourable without a stamp of merit? Let none presume to wear undeserved dignity. Oh, those estates, degrees, and offices were not derived corruptly, but were purchased by the merit of the wearer. How many should cover that stand bare? How many commanded that command? How much low peasantry must be gleaned from the true seed of honour? And how much honour must be picked from the chaff and the ruin of the time, to be new varnished? But then, to my choice, who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. I assume my deserves. Give me the key for this, and instantly unlock my fortune to you. What is here? A portrait of a fool's head. How unlike art thou to Portia? How unlike my hopes are to my deservings? Who chooses me should get as much as he deserves? Did I deserve no better than a fool's head? Or do I deserve no better?
To offend and judge are distinct offices and opposed natures.
What is this? The fire has 7 times tried this. 7 times tried that judgment is. That did never choose amiss. Some there be that shadows kiss. Such have but a shadow's bliss. There be fools alive I with silver door, and so is this. I will ever be your head. So be gone for you I sped. Some more fool I shall appear while I linger here. One fool's head I came to woo, but go away with 2. Sweeter Jew, I'll keep my oath. Patiently bear my mirth.
Thus had the candle singed them off. Oh, these deliberate fools, when they do choose, they have the wisdom of their wit to lose.
The ancient saying is no heresy. Hanging and wiving goes by destiny.
Come, nurse.
Where is my lady?
Here, what would you, my lord?
Madam, there is light at your gate. I am Venetian, one that comes before to signify the approaching of his lord, of whom he brings sensible rebreaths, to emphasize commands and cautious breaths of gifts of rich value.
No more, I pray thee. I'm half feared thou wilt say none some kin to thee. They spam his head, touch thy lay head and praising him.
Oh,
Come somewhere near, right on to see which Cupid's post that comes so merry.
Now, what is the news on the Rialto?
It is there unchecked that Antonio, the ship of rich lading wrapped in the narrow seas, the Goodwins, I think they call the place, a very dangerous, flat and fatal, where the carcasses of many a tall ship lie buried, as they say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word.
I would she were as ever lying gospel as ever not ginger, or made her neighbours believe she wept the death of a 3rd husband. But it is true, without any steps of prolixity, are going on the plain highway of talk. The good Antonio, the honest Antonio.
Stop.
What says that? Why, at the end of this, he had lost a ship.
I would it might prove the end of his losses.
Let's say amend the times. Let's stab across my prayer, for here comes the likeliness of a Jew. How now, shut up! What is the news among the merchants?
You knew none so well as you of my daughter's flight.
That's certain. I, for my part, knew the tailor that made the wind she flew withal.
And Sherlock for his own part knew the bird is fledged, and the complexion for all them to leave the dam.
Oh, she is damned for it.
That's certain if the devil may be her judge.
My own flesh and blood to rebel.
Oh, carry on, rebels at these years.
I say my daughter is my own flesh and blood.
There's more difference between thy flesh and hers than there is between jet and ivory. More between your bloods than there is between red wine and Brenish. But tell us, do you hear whether Antonio have had any loss at sea or no?
Oh, there I have another bad match. A bankrupt, a prodigal, who dare scarce show his face upon the Rialto. He who was wont to come so smug upon the mart, let him look to his bond.
Why,
He was wont to call me usurer, let him look to his bond.
I'm sure.
He was wont to lend out money for Christian courtesy, let him look to his bond.
I'm sure if he forfeit, thou wilt not take his flesh. What's that good for?
To bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me, hindered me 500,000, thwarted my bargains, laughed at my losses, mocked my gains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies, scorned my nation. And what's his reason? I am a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands? Senses, organs, dimensions, affections and passions? Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, and healed by the same means as a Christian is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you Tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Why revenge? If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Revenge. Villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction.
Gentlemen, my master Antonio is at his house and he wishes to see you.
Oh, we've been up and down to seek him.
Here comes another one to try, but there cannot be matched unless the devil himself turns you.
How now, Tubal? What news from Genoa? Hast thou found my daughter?
Well, I often came where I did hear of her, but no, I haven't found her.
There. A diamond gone. It cost me 2,000 ducats in Frankfurt. I would my daughter were dead at my foot, and the jewels in her ear. I would she were hearsed at my foot, and the ducats in her coffin. The curse never fell upon her nation till now. I never felt it till now. No news. And why so? And I know not what is spent in the search. Why that loss upon loss, the thief gone with so much and so much to find the thief. And no satisfaction. No revenge. No ill luck but what lights on my shoulders. No sighs but on my breathing. No tears but on my shedding.
Other men have ill luck too. Antonio, as I heard in Genoa, hath an Argosy castaway coming from Tripoli.
I thank thee, Tubal. Is this good news?
I spoke with some of the sailors who escaped the wreck.
Here in Genoa, good news.
Your daughter spent one night in Genoa, as I heard. 4 ducats.
There sticks the dagger in me, Tubal. I shall never see my gold again. 4 ducats at a sitting. 4!
There came diverse of Antonio's creditors in my company to Venice that swear he cannot choose but bring.
I'm glad of it. I'm very glad of it. I'll torture him. I will plague him.
One of them, he showed me a ring that he had of your daughter for a monkey.
Out upon her. It was my turquoise. I had it of Leo when I was a bachelor. I would not have traded it for a wilderness of monkeys.
But Antonio, he's certainly still undone.
No, that's true. That's very true. Tubal, go. Feed me an officer. Bespeak him a fortnight before. I'll have the heart of him if he forfeited. For were he out of Venice, could make what merchandise I will. Go, Tubal. Meet me at our synagogue. Go.
I pray you, tarry. Pause a day or two for choosing around. I lose your company. Therefore, forbear a while. There's something tells me, but it is not love. I would not lose you, and you know yourself. Hey, counsel's not such a quality. But lest you should not understand me well, and yet a maiden hath no tongue but thought, I would detain you here some month or two before you venture for me. I could teach you how to choose right, but then I am forsworn, so I will never be. You may miss me, but if you miss me and make me wish a sin that I have been forsworn, oh, shrew your eyes. They have overlooked me and divided me. One half of me is yours, the other half mine, I would say. But if mine, then yours, and so all yours. Oh, these naughty times, the bars between their owners and their rights. And so, though yours, not yours, prove it so. Let fortune go to hell for it, not I. I speak too long, but 'tis to please the time to eke it and draw them, and then stay from election.
Let me choose. For as I am, I live upon the rack.
Upon the rack, Bassanio, then confess what treason is mingled with your love.
None, but the ugly treason of mistrust which therein makes me fear the enjoying of thy love.
Aye, but I fear men, for if they do speak anything upon the rack.
Promise me life, and I'll confess the truth.
Then confess and live.
Confess and love hath been the very sum of my confession. Oh, happy torment when my torturer doth teach me answers for my deliverance.
Away then. I am lost in one of them. If you love me, you will find me out. Let music stand while he doth make his choice. Then, if he lose, he makes a swan-like end, fading in music. That the comparison may stand more proper, my eye shall be the stream and watery deathbed for him. And he may win. And what is music then? And music is as even as a flourish when true subjects bow to a new crowned monarch, such it is as those dulcet sounds that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear and summon him to marriage. Now he goes, with no less presence, but with much more love than young Ascides, when he did redeem the virgin tribute paid by howling Troy. I stand for sacrifice, the rest aloof, our Dardarian wives of bleared sages come forth to view the issue of the exploit. Go, Hercules! Live thou, I live, with much, much more dismay I view the fight that thou makest afraid. He wear his fancy pride in the heart or in the head. How be God honor it shed. Reply, reply. It is engendered in the eyes, grazing thread and fancy ties. In the cradle where it lies, let us all ring fancies now.
I'll begin it, ding dong bell.
Ding dong bell.
So, may the outward shows be least themselves. The world is still deceived with ornament. Dost thou gaudy gold, hard food for Midas, I'll none of thee. Nor none of thee, thou pale and common drudge between man and man, but thou meagre lead, which rather threatenest than dost promise aught, thy plainness moves me more than eloquence. Here choose I, joy be the consequence.
How all the other passions seek to err, doubtful thoughts, and rash embrace despair, and shuddering fear, and green-eyed jealousy. Oh love, be moderate, ally thy ecstasy, and measure rate thy joy. Scant possess, I feel too much thy blessing, make it less, fear I submit.
What find I here? Fair Portia's counterfeit. Move these eyes, or whether riding on the balls of mine seem they in motion. Here are sweetened lips parted with sugar breath, so sweet a bar should sunder so sweet friends. Here in her hairs the painter placed the spider, and hath woven a golden mesh to entrap the hearts of men faster than gnats in cobwebs. But her eyes, how could he see to do them? Having made one, methinks it should have power to steal both his and leave itself unfurnished. But look how far the substance of my praise doth wrong this shadow in underprizing it. How far this shadow doth limp behind the substance. Here's the scroll. The continent and summary of my fortune. You that choose not by view, chance as fair, and choose as true. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. If you be well pleased with this, and hold your fortune for your bliss, turn you where your lady is, and claim her with a loving kiss. Ah, gentle scroll. Sweet lady, I come by note to give and to receive, like one of two contending in a prize that thinks he hath done well in people's eyes, hearing applause and universal shout, still giddy in spirit, gazing in a doubt whether these peals of praise be his or no. So, thrice fair lady, stand I even so, as doubtful as to whether what I see be true, until confirmed, signed, ratified by you.
You see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand, such as I am, though for myself alone I would not be ambitious in my wish to wish myself much better, yet for you I would be treble 20 times myself, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich, that only to stand high in your regard I might in virtues, beauties, livings, friends, exceed amount. But the full sum of me is sum of something which to term it gross is an unlessed girl, unschooled, unpractised, but happy in this she is not bred so dull, but she can learn. And happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be governed as from her lord, her governor, her king. Myself and what is mine to you and yours is now converted. I give you with this ring, which when you part from, lose, or give away, let it presage the ruin of your love, and be my vantage to exclaim on you.
Madame, you have bereft me of all my words. Only my blood speaks to you in my veins. And there's such confusion in my powers, as after some oration fairly spoke by a beloved prince, there doth appear among the buzzing pleased multitude, where every something being blent together turns to a wild of nothing, save joy expressed and not expressed. But when this ring parts from this finger, then parts life hence. Oh, then be bold to say Bassanio is dead.
My lord and lady, it is now our time that have stood by and seen our wishes prosper, to cry good joy, my lord and lady.
My lord Bassanio and my gentle lady, I wish you all the joy you can wish for. I am sure you can wish none for me. And when your honours being to solemnize the bargain of your faith, I do beseech you, even at that time, I may be married too.
With all my heart, so thou canst get a wife.
I thank you, O lordship, you have got me one. My eyes, my lord, can look as swift as yours. You saw the mistress. I beheld the maid. You loved, I loved. For intermission, no more pertains to me, my lord, than you. Your fortune stood upon the caskets there, as so did mine too, as the matter's false. For wooing till I sweat again, and swearing till my very roof was dry with oaths of love at last. If promise lasts, I got a promise of this fair one here to have her love provided. At your fortune achieved her mistress.
Is this true?
It is, madam. So you sound pleased with all.
And do you, Gratiano, mean good faith?
Oh yes, faith, my lord.
Well, our feast shall be much honoured in your marriage.
Oh, thank you, my lord. But who comes here? Lorenzo, and his infidel and Solanio, my good Venetian friend. How are you?
Lorenzo and Solanio, welcome hither. If that the youth of my new interest here have power to bid you welcome.
So do I, my lord.
I thank
You are entirely welcome.
I thank your honour. For my part, my lord, my purpose was not to see me here, but meeting with Solanio, by the way, he did entreat me past all saying nay to come along with him.
And I have reason for it. Signor Antonio,
Here I open this letter, I pray you, tell me how my good friend doth.
Oh well, in mind, my lord. His letter will show you his estate.
There is a cheer, young stranger, bid a welcome your hand, Solanio. What's the news from Venice? How that doth royal merchant, good Antonio? I know he will be glad of our success. We are the Jasons. We have won our fleece.
No, the fleece that you have won that he hath lost.
There are some true contents in yon some paper that steals the colour from Bassanio's cheek. Some dear friend dead, else nothing in the world could turn so much the constitution of any constant man. What were some worth? With leave, Bassanio, I'm half yourself, and I must have freedom of half of anything that this same paper brings you.
Oh, sweet Portia, here are a few of the unpleasantest words that ever blotted paper. When I did first impart my love to you, gentle lady, I freely told you that all the wealth I had ran in my veins. I was a gentleman. And then I told you true, and yet, rating myself at nothing, you shall see how much I was a braggart. When I told you my state was nothing, I should have told you then that I was worse than nothing, for indeed I have engaged myself to a dear friend, engaged my friend to his mere enemy to feed my means. Here is a letter, lady. The paper as the body of my friend, and every word in it a gaping wound issuing lifeblood. But is it true, Solanio? Hath all his ventures failed? What not one hit from Tripoli, Mexico, and India, Lisbon, Barbary, and England? What not one vessel escaped?
My lord. Besides, it should appear if he had the current money to discharge you, he would not take it.
When I was with him, I've heard him swear, Tubble and Chess, his countrymen, that he would rather have Antonio's flesh than 20 times the value of the sum that he did owe him. And I know, my lord, if law, authority, and power deny not, it will go hard with poor Antonio.
Is it your dear friend that is thus in
The
trouble?
dearest friend to me, the kindest man, the best conditioned and most unwearied spirit in doing courtesies, and one in whom the ancient Roman honour appears more than any that draws breath in Italy.
What sum owes he the Jew?
For me, 3,000.
What? No more. Pay him 6,000 and deface the pond. Double 6,000 and treble that before a friend of this description shall lose a hair through Bassanio's fault. First, go with me to the church and call me wife. Then away to Venice to your friend, for never shall you lie by Portia's side with an unquiet soul. You shall have gold to pay the petty debt 20 times over. When it is paid, bring your true friend along. Myself and Nerissa will live as maids and widows. Come away, for you shall hence upon your wedding day bid your friends a merry cheer. Since you are dear bought, I will love you dear. But let me hear the letter of your dear friend.
Sweet Bassanio, my ships have all miscarried. My creditors grow cruel. My estate is very low. My bond to the Jew is forfeit. And since in paying it, it is impossible I should live, all debts are cleared between you and I, if I might but see you at my death. Notwithstanding, use your pleasure. If your love do not persuade you to come, let not my letter.
Oh, dispatch all business and be gone.
Since I have your good leave to go away, I will make haste. But till I come again, no bet shall e'er be guilty of my stay, nor rest be interposer twixt us twain.
Mercy, this is the fool that lent out money. Look to him.
Hear me yet.
I will have my bond. I will not hear thee speak. I have sworn an oath to have my bond. Thou calls me a dog before thou hadst cause, but since I am a dog, beware my fangs. The Duchess shall grant me justice. I do wonder, thou naughty jailer, that thou art so fond as to come abroad with him at his request.
I pray thee, hear me speak.
I will have my bond. I will not hear thee speak. I will have my bond, and therefore speak no more. I will not be made a dull-eyed, soft fool to yield to Christian intercessors. Follow not. I will have my bond.
It is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept me.
Let him alone. I'll follow him no more with bootless prayers. He seeks my life, and his reason well I know. I have oft delivered from his forfeitures many that have at times made moan to me. Therefore he hates me.
I'm sure the Duchess will never grant this fortune.
The Duchess cannot deny the course of law. Therefore, go. These griefs and losses have so baited me that I should hardly spare a pound of flesh tomorrow to my bloody creditor. Well, jailer, on. Pray God Bassanio come to see me pay his debt, and then I care not.
Madam, although I speak it in your presence, you have a noble and true conscience of godlike amity, which appears most strongly in the bearing goods of your husband. But if you knew to whom you show this honour, to how true a gentleman you send relief, you would be so proud.
I never did repent for doing good, nor shall not now, for in companions that do converse and waste the time together, whose souls do bear an equal yoke of love, there must be needs of like proportion of lineaments, of manners, and of spirit, which makes you think this Antonio, being the bosom lover of my lord, must be needs like my lord. If it be so, how little is the cost I bestowed in purchasing the semblance of my soul from out the state of hellish misery. This comes to near the praising of myself, therefore no more of it. Lorenzo, I commit into your hands the husbandry and manage of my house. I have toward heaven breathed the secret vow to live in prayer and contemplation, only attended by Nerissa here. There is a monastery 2 miles off, and there we will abide. I do desire you not to deny this imposition, the which my love and some necessity now lays upon you. Fare you well.
Madam, I thank you.
My people already know my mind and will acknowledge you and Jessica in place for Lord Bassani and myself. Fare you well.
Happy hours attend on you.
I wish your ladyship all hearts.
I am pleased to wish it back in you. Fare you well, Jessica. Now, Balthazar, as I have found thee honest true, and so let me find you still, take this letter and speed to Padua. See thou render this into the hands of Dr. Bellaria. Look what notes and garments he doth give thee. Bring them, I pray thee, with imagined speed unto the traject to the common ferry which trades to Venice. Waste no time in words, but get thee gone. I'll be there before thee. Come, Nerissa. We have work in hand. We will see our husbands before they think of us.
Shall they see us?
They shall, Nerissa, but in such a habit that they will think we are accomplished with that we lack. I have within my mind 1,000 of these raw bragging tricks which I will practice. But come, we must haste away 20 miles today.
of the father are to be laid upon the children. Therefore, I promise you, I fear you. I was always playing with you, and thus now I speak my agitation of the matter. Therefore, be of good cheer, for truly I think you are damned. There is but one kind of hope in it that can do you any good, and that is but a kind of bastard hope neither.
And what hope is that, I pray thee?
Marry, you may partly hope that your father got you not that you are not the Jew's daughter.
That were a kind of bastard hope indeed. Such sins of my mother should be visited upon me.
Ah, thus your damn both father and mother. Thus, when I shun Scylla, your father, I fall into Charybdis, your mother. Truly, you are damned both ways.
I shall be saved by my husband, Lancelot. He hath made me a Christian.
Truly, the more to blame ye. We were Christians enough before. E'en as many as well could live, one by another. This making of Christians will raise the price of hogs. If we grow all to be pork eaters, soon we will not have a rasher on the coals for money.
I'll tell my husband, Lancelot, what you say. Here he comes.
I shall grow jealous of you shortly, Lancelot, if you thus get my wife into corners.
Nay, you need not fear us, Lorenzo. Lancelot and I are out. He tells me flatly there is no mercy for me in heaven because I am a Jew's daughter. And just as you are no good member of the Commonwealth for in converting Jews to Christians, you raise the price of pork.
How every fool could play upon the word. I think the best course of action will shortly turn into silence, and discourse grow commendable in none only but parrots. Go in, bid them prepare dinner.
That is done, sir. They have all stomachs.
Good lordy, what a wit snapper are you? Then bid them prepare for dinner.
That is done too, sir. Only covers the word.
Will you cover then, sir?
That says, sir, neither I know my duty.
And yet more quarrelling with occasion. Wilt thou show the whole wealth of thy wit in an instant? I pray you, understand a plain man in plain meaning. Go in, serve the meat, cover the table, and we will be in for dinner.
For the table, sir, it shall be served in. For the meat, sir, it shall be covered for your coming into dinner, sir. Why, let it be as humours and conceits shall govern.
Oh dear discretion, our words are suited. The fool hath planted in our memory an army of good words, and I know a many a fool that... How cheerest thou, Jessica? And say thy opinion. What dost thou think of Lord Bassanio's new wife?
Past all expressing, it is very meek Lord Bassanio live an upright life, for having such a blessing in his lady, he finds the joys of heaven here on earth. And if on earth he do not merit it, in reason he should never come to heaven. Why, if two gods should play some heavenly match, and on the wager lay two earthly women and Portia one, there must be something else upon with the other, for the poor rude world hath not her fellow.
Even thou hast such a husband of me as she is for wife.
Nay, but ask my opinion too of that.
I will anon, but first let's go into dinner.
Nay, let me praise you while I have stomach.
Oh, I pray thee, let us serve for table talk, and then howsoever thou speakest among other things, I shall digest it.
Well, okay.
Ready, so please, your grace.
I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty from any dram of mercy.
I have heard your grace obtain great pains to qualify his rigorous course, but since he stands obdurate, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his envy's reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and am armed to suffer with a quietness of spirit the very tyranny and rage of his.
Go on and call the Jew into the court. Make room and let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadst this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act, and then to sought out show thy mercy and remorse more strange than is thy strange apparent cruelty. But when thou now exacts the penalty which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh that would not only loose the forfeiture, but touched with human gentleness and love, forgive a moiety of the principal, glancing an eye of pity on his losses that have of late so huddled on his back. And now to press a royal merchant down and pluck commiseration of estate from brassy bosoms and rough hearts of flint to stubborn Turks and Tartars never trained in offices of tender courtesy. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
I have possessed your grace of what I purpose, and by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the full due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light on your city and your charter. You'll ask me why I'd rather have a weight of carrion flesh than the full sum of 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that. I would say it is my humour, is it answered? Some men there are cannot abide a gaping pig, some that are mad when they behold a cat, some, when the bagpipe sings in the nose, cannot but contain their urine. For affection masters oft passion, sways it to the mood of that which it likes or loathes. Since there is no firm reason to be rendered why he cannot abide a gaping pig, why he, a harmless necessary cat, why he, woolen bagpipes. But of force must yield to such inevitable shame as to offend himself being offended. So can I give no firm reason, nor will I, other than a lodged hate and certain loathing I bear Antonio that I follow this a losing suit against him. What have you answered?
Well, this is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
I am not bound to please thee with my answers.
Does every man kill the thing he does not love?
Hates any man the thing he would not.
Every offence is not a hate at first.
What was the heaven surface sing these ways?
I pray thee, think you question with the Jew. You may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bait its usual height. You may as well use question with the wolf. Why, he hath made the ewe bleat for the lamb. You may as well forbid the mountain pines from wagging their high tops and make no noise when they are fretting with the gusts of heaven. You may as well do anything most hard than seek to soften that, and which, what's harder, his Jewish heart. Therefore, I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no farther
My
means.
3,000 ducats here is 6.
Well, if every ducat in 6,000 were in 6 parts, and each part a ducat, I would not draw this. I would have my bond.
How shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none?
What judgment shall I dread doing no wrong? You have among you many a purchased slave, which, like your ass's dogs and mule, you use in abject and slavish parts, because you bought them. What shall I say to you? Let them be free, marry them to your heirs. Why sweat they under such burdens? Let their beds be made soft, let their palates be seasoned with such viand. Like you will say, they are ours, we bought them. So do I say to you, the pound of flesh which I demand of him is mine. 'Tis dearly bought, and I will have it. If you deny it, fie upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand here for law. Answer, shall I have it?
Upon my power, I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor, whom I've sent for to determine this, come here today.
My lady, here stays about a messenger with letters from the doctor, Nikos from Padua.
Good cheer, Antonio. What man courage yet, but you shall have my flesh, blood, bones and all. Here thou shalt lose from me one drop of blood.
I am a tainted whether of the flock, meat is for death. The weakest kind of fruit drops early to the ground, and so let me. You cannot be better employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph.
Came you from Padua, from Bellario?
From both, my lady. Bellario greets her grace.
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
To cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew. Thou makes thy knife keen, but no metal can know. Now hence makes axe bears half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee?
None that thou hast wit enough.
Be thou damned, inexorcible dog. Thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, ravenous.
Till thou canst rail the seal from off thy bond, thou but offends thy lungs to speak so loud. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. I stand here for law.
This letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he?
He attended here hard by to know your answer whether you'll have been.
With all my heart. You, go give him courteous conduct to this place. Meanwhile, the court shall hear Bellario's letter. Your grace shall understand that at the receipt of your letter I am very sick. But in the instant that your messenger came in loving visitation was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthazar. I acquainted him with the cause and controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We turned over many books together. He is furnished with my opinion, which, bettered with his own learning, the greatness whereof I cannot enough commend, comes with him at my importunity to fill up your grace's request in my stead. I beseech you, let his lack of years be no impediment to let him lack a reverent estimation. For I never knew so young a body with so old a head. I leave him to your gracious acceptance, whose trial shall better publish his commendation. You hear the learned Bellario what he writes, and here I take it is the doctor come. Give me your hand. Come you from old Bellario?
I did, my lord.
Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court?
I am informed thoroughly of the cause, which the merchant and which the Jew.
Antonio and old Shylock both stand forward.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful.
On what compulsion must I?
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth like the gentle rain from heaven. 'Tis twice blessed. It blessed him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. Its sceptre shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings, and earthly power doth then show like as gods of mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice none of us shall see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke this much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow the strict court of Venice must lead to sentence against the merchant there.
My deeds upon my head, I crave the law, and the full forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes. Here I tender it for him in the court, twice the sum. If that shall not suffice, then I will be bound to pay 10 times over, on forfeit of my head, my hands, my heart. If this will not suffice, then it should appear that malice bears down the truth, and I do beseech you, to do great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of his will.
There is no law that can alter a decree established, and many by the same error rush into state. It cannot be.
A Daniel come to judgment, yea, a Daniel most upright judge.
Let me look upon the bond.
Here it is. Most Reverend Doctor, here it is.
Shall there is thrice thy money offered thee.
If I have an oath in heaven, shall I lay perjury to my soul? Not for Venice.
Why, this bond is for fit, and lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful. Take thrice thy money, bid me tear the bond.
Now when it is paid according to the tenor, you are a worthy judge, you know the law, your exposition so far hath been most sound. Therefore I charge thee, by the law whereof you are a deserving pillar. Pursue sentence.
Why then, thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
Most upright judge.
For the intent and purpose of the law have full relation to the penalty.
Most upright judge. Sentence.
Therefore lay bare your bosom.
Aye, his breast. Nearest his heart, those are the very words, are not?
It is so. Are there balances with flesh?
Yes, I have them here.
Have I some surgeon Shylock lest you do bleed to death?
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed. But what of that? 'Twere good you do so much for charity.
She's not in the bond, I cannot find it.
You, merchant, have you anything to say?
But little, I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I am fallen into this for you, for herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. It is still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth, to view with hollowed eye and wrinkled brow an age of poverty, of what lingering penance of such misery that she cut me off. Commend me to your honourable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you. Speak me well in death, and when the tale is told, bid her be the judge of whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repent but you that you shall lose your friend, and he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do but cut deep enough, I'll pay it instantly with all my heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife, which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all. I sacrifice them all here to this devil to deliver you.
Your wife would give you little thanks for that if she were by to hear you make the offer.
I have a wife who I protest I love. I would she were in heaven, so she could entreat some power to change this currish Jew.
It's well you offer it behind her back. You wish to make us in a quiet house.
I have a daughter. Would the stock of Barabbas be her husband rather than these Christians? I pray thee, pursue sentence, we trifle time.
A pound of this same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it, and the law doth give it.
What's the right judge? A sentence.
And you must cook this flesh from off his breast. The law allows it, and the court awards it.
Come, prepared.
There's something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressively are a pound of flesh. Then take thy bond, take thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting of it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are confiscated by the laws of Venice unto the state of Venice.
Upright judge, Mark, Jew, a learned judge.
But is that the law?
Thyself shall see the act, as thou urgest justice. Be assured thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
Learned judge, Mark, Jew, a learned judge.
I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go.
Here it is.
Soft. The Jew must have all justice. Soft, no haste, he shall have nothing but the penalty.
Ah, Jew, upright judge, a learned judge.
Therefore, prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less, nor more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou takest more or less than just a pound, be it so much that makes it light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th part, or of one poor scripture. Nay, if the scale do turn but in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscated.
Now give me my principal and let me go.
Here I have it ready for you.
Tarry to. The law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien, that by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the party against the which he doth contrive shall seize one half of his goods. The other half comes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies in the mercy only against all other voice. In which predicament, I say, thou standest. For it appears, by manifest proceeding, that indirectly and directly thou hast contrived against the very life of the defendant, and thou hast incurred the danger formerly by me rehearsed. Down. Therefore, and beg mercy of the Duke.
Beg that thou mayst leave to hang thyself, and yet thy wealth being forfeit to the state. Thou hast not left the value of the cord, therefore thou must be hanged at the stage charge.
Thou shalt see the difference of our spirits. I pardon thee thy life before thou ask it. For half thy wealth it is Antonio's. The other half comes to the general estate, which humbleness may drive into a fine.
I for the state, not for Antonio.
Nay, take my life and all. You do take my house when you do take prop with which I sustain my house, you do take my life when you do take the means whereby I live.
What mercy can you render him?
A halt to gratis, nothing else, for God's sake.
So please, my lady, the Duchess, and all the court to quit the fine for one half of his goods. I am content that he will let me have the other half to use and render it upon his death unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter, 2 things more, provided that for this favour he presently become a Christian, and the other that he do record a gift here in this court of all he dies possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter.
He shall do this, or else I do recant the pardon that I late pronounce it here.
Art thou contented, Jew? What dost thou say?
I am content.
Clerk, draw me the gift.
I pray thee give me leave to go from hence. I am not well. Send the deed after me and I shall sign it.
Get thee gone, but do it. Sir, I entreat you home with dinner.
I humbly do desire grace and pardon. I must away to Padua tonight. It is meet I presently set forth.
I am sorry that your leisure serves you not. Antonio, gratify this gentleman, for in my mind you are much bound to him.
Most worthy gentlemen, I and my friend have this day by your wisdom been acquitted of grievous penalties. In lieu whereof 3,000 ducats due unto the Jew, we freely cope your courteous pains with all.
And stand indebted over and above in love and service to you evermore.
He is well paid, and that is well satisfied, and I, delivering you, am satisfied, and therein do account myself well paid. Therefore, peace be with you. I pray you.
Of course,
Know me when
I
we
must
meet again.
attempt you further. Take some remembrance of us, not as a fee, but as a tribute. Grant me 2 things, I pray you, not to pardon me and not to deny me.
You press me far, and therefore I will yield. I will have this ring. Do not draw back your hand. I'll take no more.
Alas, good sir, this ring, it is but a trifle. I will not shame myself to give you this.
I will have nothing else, and now methinks I have mind to it.
There's more depends on this ring than on the value. The dearest ring in Venice will I give you, and find it out by proclamation only for this. I pray you pardon me.
I see you are liberal in your offers. First you taught me how to beg, and now methinks you teach me how a beggar should be answered.
This ring was given me by my wife, and when she put it on, she made me vow that I should never give, nor sell, nor lose it.
That excuse serves many men to save their gifts, and if your wife not be a mad woman, and know how well I deserve this ring, she would not hold out enemy of me forever. Well, peace be with you.
My lord Bassanio, give him the ring. Let his deservings and my love withal be valued against your wife's commandments.
Go, Gratiano, run and overtake him. Bring him, if thou canst, unto Antonio's house. Come, you and I will thither presently, and in the morning, early, shall we fly toward Belmont. Come, Antonio.
My lord Bassanio upon more advice hath sent you this ring, and doth entreat your company at dinner.
That cannot be. His ring I do accept most thankfully, and I pray you tell him furthermore.
That will I do.
Sir, I would speak with you. I'll see if I can get my husband's ring, which I did make him swear to keep forever.
Thou mayest, I warrant. Will have old swearing that they did give their rings away to men, and will it face them and outswear them too. Come. Thou knowest where I will tarry.
Come, good sir, show me to this house.
Of course.
The moon shines bright. In such a night, when the wind did gently blow the trees and they did make no noise, in such a night, Troilus, methinks, mounted the Trojan walls, and sighed out towards the Grecian tents where Cressid lay that night.
In such a night did this fearfully o'ertreat the Jew, and saw the lion's shadow ear himself, and ran dismayed away.
In such a night stood Dido with a willow in her hand, and with and wafted love to come against Carthage.
In such a night Mina gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew of Aeson.
In such a night did Jessica, like a little shrew, slander her love, and he forgave her.
In such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her heart with many vows of faith and near a true one.
In such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, and with an unthrift love run as far as Venice from Belmont.
Lorenzo,
called so fast in the silence of night?
A friend.
A friend? What friend? Your name, friend, I pray thee.
Stefano is my name and I bring word. My mistress will before the birth of day be here at Belmont. She doth stray about by holy crosses where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours.
And who comes with her?
None but the holy hermit and her maid. I pray you, is my master yet returned?
He is not, and we have not yet heard from him, but go in, Jessica, and ceremoniously let's prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house.
Sola! Sola!
Who calls?
Where's Master Lorenzo?
Here.
Master Lorenzo! Sola! Where?
Here.
Tell him my master is come with his horn full of good news. Tell him my master will be here in the morning. Should our master be
Yeah,
here?
I know. Let's go in. And yet, why should we go in? Stefano, my friend, signify within the house of your mistress is coming. How soft the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. Here we will sit and let the sound of music creep in our ears. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. Look, Jessica, look how the floor of heaven is thick inlaid with patterns of bright gold. There's not the smallest orb which thou beholdst, but in his motion, like an angel sings, still choiring at the young-eyed cherubims. Such harmonies are in immortal souls, but whilst this muddy vesture of decay doth grossly close us in, we cannot hear it. Come ho, wake Diana with the hymn. Sweetest sounds pierce your mistress's ear, and draw her home with music.
I am never merry when I hear sweet music.
Well, that is because your spirits are attentive. For do but note a wild and wanton herd of youthful or unhandled colts, fetching mad bounds, bellowing, neighing loud, which is the hot condition of their blood. If they would hear, perchance, a trumpet sound, or any air of music touch their ears, you would perceive them take a mutual stand. Their savage eyes turn to a modest gaze by the power of music. Therefore the poet did feign that Orpheus through trees, floods, stones, since not so stockish, hard and full of rage, but music for the time that changes nature. The man that hath no music in himself, nor is not moved by concords of sweet sounds, is fit for Trojans, stratagems and spoils. Let no such man be trusted. Mark the music. Fair lady, welcome home.
We have been praying for our Lord's return, which speed we hope the better for our words. Are they returned?
They have not, but a messenger has come to signify their coming.
Go in, Nerissa. Give order to my servants to take no note of our being absent hence. Nor you, Jessica, nor you, Lorenzo.
Madam, your master is at hand. Fear you not, madam, we are no telltales.
This night, methinks, is but the daylight sick. 'Tis a little paler. 'Tis a day, such as a day, as when the sun is hid.
We should hold a day with the Antipodes if you would walk in absence of the sun.
Let me give light, not be light, for light life doth make a heavy husband, and never be the Sanio. So for me, you're welcome, son, my lord.
I thank you, madam. Give welcome to my friend. This is the man, this is Antonio, to whom I am so infinitely bound.
You should, in all sense, be bound for him, for as I hear, he is much bound for you.
No more than I'm well acquitted of.
Sir, you are welcome to our house. It must appear in other ways than words, therefore I scant this. Breathing courtesy.
By yonder moon, I swear you'll do me wrong. In faith, I gave it to the judge's clerk. Would he were a gal that had it? For my part, since you do take it, love so much at heart.
A quarrel, ho, already, what's the
A bather hoop of gold, a paltry ring that she did give me, whose posy was for all the world like Cutler's poetry upon the knife. Love me and leave me not.
What talk you, the posy or the value? You swore to me when I did give it to you that you would wear it till your hour of death, and it should lie with you in your grave. Though not for me, yet for your vehement oaths. You should have been respective and have kept it. Gave it a judge's clerk. No, God's my judge. That clerk will never wear hair on his face that had it.
He will, and if he lived to be a man.
I have a woman lived to be a man.
Now by this hand I gave it to a youth, a kind of boy, a little scrub boy no higher than thyself, the judge's clerk, a prating boy that begged it as a fee. I could not for my heart deny it him.
You were to blame, I must be plain with you. Depart so slightly with your wife's first gift. A thing stuck on with oaths upon your finger, and so riveted with faith unto your flesh. I gave my love a ring, and here he stands. I dare be sworn he would leave it, nor pluck it up a finger for the wealth of this world masters. Now, Graziano, you give your wife too unkind a cause of grief, and for me, I should be mad at it.
Why, it were best I should cut my left hand off.
My lord Bassanio gave his ring away unto the judge that begged it, and indeed deserved it too. And then the boy, his clerk, who took some pain in writing, he begged mine, and neither man nor master would take all but the 2 rings.
What ring gave you, my lord, not that which I hope you received of me?
If I could add a lie unto a fault, I would deny it, but you see my finger hath not the ring upon it. It is gone.
Even so void is your false heart of truth. By heaven, I will ne'er come near bed until I see the ring.
Ah, Portia, if you did know to whom I gave the ring, if you did know for whom I gave this ring, and could conceive for what I gave the ring, and how unwillingly I left the ring when naught would be accepted but the ring.
If you had known the virtue of the ring, or even had her worthiness that gave you the ring, or your own honour to contain the ring, then you would not have parted with the ring. What man is so unreasonable to have defended with any terms of zeal, wanted the modesty to urge the thing held as ceremony? Nerissa teaches me what to believe, and I'll die for it, but some woman had the ring.
No, by my honour, madam, by my soul, no woman had it but a civil doctor, which did refuse 3,000 ducats of me and begged the ring, to which I did deny him, and suffered him to go displeased away, even he that had held up the life of my dear friend. What should I say, sweet lady? I was enforced to send it after him. I was beset with shame and courtesy. My honour would not let ingratitude so much besmear it. And if you had been there by these blessed candles of the night, I think you would have begged the ring of me to
Let not that doctor come near my bed, since he had the jewel that I loved, a thing you did swear to keep from me. I'll not deny him anything I have, no, not my body, nor my husband's bed. Watch me like Argos. And if you do not, if I be left alone, now by mine honour, which is yet mine own, I'll have that doctor for my bedfellow.
And I as clerk, therefore be well advised you do leave me to mine own protection.
Well, do you so let not me take him then, for if I do, I'll mar the young clerk's pen.
I am the unhappy subject of these quarrels.
Grieve ye not, you are welcome, notwithstanding.
Portia, forgive me this enforced wrong, and in the hearing of these many friends I swear to thee, even by thine own fair eyes wherein I see myself.
Mark you but that! In both my eyes you doubly see yourself, and each eye one. Swear by your double self that there's an oath of credit.
Nay, but hear me! Pardon this fault, and by my soul I swear I never more will break an oath with thee.
I once did lend my body for his wealth, which, but for he that had your husband's ring and quite miscarried, I dare be bound again. My soul upon the forfeit that your lord will never more break faith advisedly.
Then you should be a surety. Give him this, and bid him keep it better than the other.
Here, my lord Bassanio, swear to keep this ring.
By heaven, it is the same I gave the doctor.
I had it of him. Pardon me, Bassanio, but by this ring I lay with the doctor.
And pardon me, gentle Gratiano, for that same scrubbed boy, in lieu of this last night, did lie with me.
Why, this is like the mending of the highways in summer, where the ways are fair enough. What are we cockroach? We have deserved it?
You speak so grossly, you're all amazed. Take this letter, read it at your leisure. There you shall find that Portia was the doctor, Nerissa her clerk. Lorenzo shall witness I set forth as soon as you, and even now returned, and haven't even left or returned to my house. Unseal this letter. There you shall find that 3 ships have richly come to harbour. You will not know which accident I chanced upon this letter.
I am dumb.
Were you the doctor and I knew you not?
Were you the clerk that is to make me cockle?
Aye, but the clerk never means to do it.
Sweet
unless
doctor,
he lives to be a man.
You shall be my bedfellow. When I am absent, lie with my wife.
Sweet lady, you have given me life and living, for here I read for certain that my ships are safely come to road.
How now, Lorenzo? I have good comforts for you too.
Aye, and I'll give them him without a fee. There, do I give to you and Jessica from the rich Jew, after his death of all he does possessed of.
Fair ladies, you give manna and starving people.
'Tis almost morning, and yet I'm sure you're not satisfied with these events of full. Let us go in, and charge us there upon interrogatories. We will answer all things faithfully.
Let it be so. The first interrogatory that my Nerissa shall be sworn is whether till next night she had rather stay or go to bed now, being 2 hours today. But where did they come? I should wish it were dark, that I were couching with the doctor's clerk. Well, while I fear and while I live, fear no other thing, so heartless to keep him safe. There is his ring.